In the past few weeks I have tested both the new Samsung Galaxy Watch 7 as well as the Galaxy Watch Ultra. The latter, like the Pro version from 2 years ago, is supposed to be particularly interesting for outdoor athletes, meaning it comes with some additional features and characteristics. However, it is also significantly more expensive, costing roughly twice as much as the classic Galaxy Watch 7. But is this really justified? In this video I walk you through all the differences between the Galaxy Watch 7 and the Galaxy Watch Ultra so that you'll know which one is the right choice for you. So let's get started and have fun. First, we need to talk about the appearance and build of both watches, because even at first glance some differences stand out. The Galaxy Watch 7 comes in two different sizes with a case diameter of 40 and 44mm, and here you can see the larger 44mm version. In both versions the watch is 9.7mm thick. The Galaxy Watch Ultra, on the other hand, is only available in one version with a case diameter of 47mm and a thickness of 12.1mm. This means the watch is noticeably larger and, most importantly, thicker, which definitely stands out on the wrist. The Galaxy Watch 7 has a very subtle design, while the Ultra is quite a hefty piece. Some people like this, while others may not. What's clear, however, is that the Ultra is significantly more robust and premium compared to the Watch 7. The display of the latter isn't specially protected, whereas the Ultra's round display is embedded in a square case. In fact, the displays of the 44mm Watch 7 and the 47mm Ultra are the same size at 1.5 inches and 480 x 480 pixels. However, the Ultra's display has additional protection, including a slightly raised bezel that also provides extra shielding. And speaking of protection, the Galaxy Watch 7 offers water resistance of up to 5 ATM or up to 50 meters, while the Galaxy Watch Ultra can handle 10 ATM or up to 100 meters. The Ultra's case is made of titanium, while the Galaxy Watch 7 uses aluminum. Although titanium is much more durable, aluminum is much lighter. As a result, the Ultra weighs 60.5 grams, while the Watch 7 weighs only 28.8 or 33.8 grams. This is definitely noticeable in daily use, and I find that the Watch 7 is much more comfortable to wear. Nonetheless, I really like the Ultra's design as well, but of course that's a matter of personal taste. The same goes for the watch faces. Both watches offer different options, but some watch faces are exclusive to the Ultra. Another difference is that the Ultra offers a night mode for some watch faces, where the dial is displayed only in black and red, which is particularly easy on the eyes in the dark. Another display difference is brightness. The Watch 7 offers up to 2000 nits, while the Ultra goes up to 3000. However, this isn't really noticeable during normal use. Only when using the flashlight you can see a difference, and even then it is minimal. When it comes to the colors of the watches, the Ultra offers a choice of titanium grey, titanium white and titanium silver, which is what you see here with me. The Watch 7, besides this dark green option which I chose, is also available in cream for the smaller 40mm version, and you can select silver for the 44mm version. Another choice you can make for the Watch 7 is that you can choose an LTE version where you can make phone calls or send messages without the smartphone connection. The Ultra, on the other hand, always comes with this LTE feature. Let's talk about another visual aspect before we get into the features and accuracy. With the straps, both watches offer different options. The Galaxy Watch 7 comes with the standard sports band, and the Ultra comes with a marine band, which has additional air holes for better ventilation. This is particularly suitable for swimming and when you sweat during your workouts. I also got this trail band for free with the Ultra, which is made of nylon and is therefore very light and comfortable to wear. It's important to know that the Ultra uses its own closure system, meaning it's only compatible with straps specifically made for it. The Galaxy Watch 7, on the other hand, uses classic 20mm straps, so you can just search online for any kind of 20mm straps and exchange them for this watch. Now that we've taken a closer look at the exterior of both watches, many of you might have noticed that the Ultra, unlike the Watch 7, has 3 buttons on the case instead of just 2. This middle button, marked in orange, is the action button. With it you can directly initiate specific actions such as jumping into training mode or activating the flashlight. You can customize it as you like, and I actually use it quite often and find it pretty useful. If you hold this button down for 5 seconds, you'll also activate the Siren on the Ultra, which is another feature that the Watch 7 doesn't have. This siren is intended for emergencies, for example if you've had a fall and can't get up, or if you've lost your way. you can trigger the siren as a call for help. It's up to 86 decibels loud and is supposed to be heard up to 180 meters away. Both of these features, so the new action button and the siren, are quite useful, but to be honest, for me personally, neither of those features would be enough to justify paying twice the price. Another difference can be found in the training modes of the two watches. The Ultra for the first time finally offers a multi-sport mode, which is particularly useful for triathletes who want to track multiple sports in one training session. The Galaxy Watch 7 doesn't have this feature. But that's not really a big deal, because you can create a workout routine on the Watch 7 and manually select running, cycling and swimming, essentially creating your own multi-sport mode and naming it triathlon. So while this is definitely a small difference, same as the action button and the siren, this wouldn't be a number one criterion for me to pay double the price for the Ultra, because as I said, you can work around this with the Galaxy Watch 7. As I mentioned in the intro, the Galaxy Watch Ultra is specifically targeted at outdoor athletes. For this audience, navigation features are important, since you might want to use them while hiking, cycling or running. On the Ultra you can load routes onto the watch and navigate during your workout. You'll get turn-by-turn directions, you can use a back-to-start feature, and you have full topographic maps with lots of information, street names, points of interest and so on. Unfortunately, the Galaxy Watch 7 doesn't have any of that. While you can use Google Maps to navigate, there is no road guidance during your workouts. As for GPS, both of these watches have a new feature called dual frequency GPS, which is slightly more accurate than the regular GPS, because two satellite signal bands can be accessed at the same time, specifically the L1 and L5 band, so both of these watches use the same technology here, but I could still see some differences in the GPS accuracy between both watches. I went running many times with both, and here you can see one of my typical running routes with the data from the Watch 7 in red and the Ultra in black. The Watch 7 had a few inaccuracies in some areas, like here in the forest, and at times the route mistakenly passes through buildings as well. The Ultra was definitely more accurate in this regard. This became even more apparent during a second test where I went the exact same path back and forth on a narrow forest trail. Again, you can see that the Watch 7 in red deviates quite a bit between the outbound and return paths, while the Ultra in black shows much better alignment. So this watch was definitely more accurate in this case. In my experience, the GPS accuracy of the Galaxy Watch 7 is decent, but for the Ultra, for the first time for a Samsung watch, for me personally, it was really good. I had completely opposite experiences with heart rate accuracy, as in my tests, the more affordable Galaxy Watch 7 actually performed better, even though both watches also used the same optical heart rate sensor. When running, both watches were very accurate. Comparing the results with those from a chest strap, you can see that there were hardly any deviations. The average heart rate for both watches was less than 1 beat per minute off from the chest strap, so the results were really good. But then things got more interesting during strength training. Here in general it's much more difficult to accurately track heart rate because it fluctuates significantly, and there are always lots of small wrist movements that make it even harder. Unfortunately, Samsung doesn't offer an option to export heart rate data for strength training, so I can only show you the results of the watches and the chest straps side by side. I recorded many workouts with both watches, always wearing just one watch at a time so I could wear them both on my left arm. For this workout with the Ultra, we can see that the average heart rate of 95 was very close to the chest strap's 97, but the maximum heart rate was 144 according to the chest strap and only 121 according to the watch, clearly too low. This is a phenomenon you can observe with almost all sports watches and smartwatches, so they struggle to keep up with rapid increases in heart rate. The Watch 7, however, performed much better. Here too, the average heart rate was only 2 beats off from the chest strap, but more importantly, the maximum heart rate on the watch was 136, much closer to the chest strap's 143 than the Ultra's reading. The heart rate curve was also more accurate, and I already noticed during my workouts that the Galaxy Watch 7 kept up better with rapid heart rate changes than the Ultra. In general, I found that smaller, thinner and lighter watches tend to be more accurate than larger, heavier ones. This is probably because they fit more snugly and securely on the wrist, so they don't wobble as much. So this might explain why I achieved slightly more accurate heart rate measurements with the Galaxy Watch 7 compared to the Galaxy Watch Ultra. One of the main selling points for the Galaxy Watch Ultra is its battery life, which is supposed to be significantly better than the Watch 7. The Ultra has a 590 mAh battery, and Samsung promises up to 100 hours in power saving mode and up to 48 hours with power saving during training. The Watch 7 on the other hand has a 300 mAh battery in the smaller 40mm version and a 425 mAh battery in the larger 44mm variant. For this larger version, which I also have here, Samsung claims the watch can last up to 30 hours with always on enabled and up to 40 hours with always on disabled. So Samsung provides different estimates for the battery lives of both watches, so this is very difficult to compare. So let me just show you a head-to-head comparison of the battery lives of both watches on a normal day during my testing phase. I fully charged both watches in the morning, starting this test at 100%. Then I went for a 30-minute run. After that, the Watch 7 was at 86% and the Ultra was at 94%. Then I spent 40 minutes at the gym, and afterward the battery levels were 80% and 91% respectively. Next I did the GPS test in the forest that I mentioned earlier, which took another half hour, and after that the Watch 7 was at 72% and the Ultra at 87%. After that I just used both watches in my daily life, but I also recorded a few things for this video, so they were used fairly intensively. I then tracked my sleep, and the next morning I had to find out that the Watch 7 didn't survive the night. It had actually turned off less than 24 hours after being fully charged, while the Ultra still had 52% battery left. I had set both watches to fairly battery-friendly settings. I turned off the always-on mode even during workouts, set the brightness to automatic, disabled automatic workout detection, and set the heart rate monitoring to every 10 minutes instead of continuous monitoring. Even so, the Watch 7 didn't last 24 hours, which was really disappointing. So in my experience, the Galaxy Watch 7 lasts about a day, but if you track less than 1 hour of activity per day, you can also get like 1.5 days out of it. But you probably wouldn't be able to track a multi-hour hike with the watch. The Galaxy Watch Ultra, on the other hand, lasts about 2 days for me personally, so twice as long, but even this battery life isn't really impressive. So which watch is the better choice? The Galaxy Watch 7 or the Galaxy Watch Ultra? Of course, ultimately this depends on your personal preferences, but for me personally, the more affordable Galaxy Watch 7 would be the better choice. This is simply because, yes, there are definitely differences between both watches, but neither of those differences would be significant enough for me personally to justify the Ultra's double price. So the Ultra is more robust and higher quality than the classic Watch 7, but the latter is lighter and more comfortable to wear. The action button and Siren are certainly nice additional features, but I could personally do without them. The lack of a multisport mode can be compensated for by manually creating a triathlon mode, and while I had better experiences with GPS accuracy on the Ultra, the more affordable Watch 7 was more accurate when it came to heart rate. So the only reasons for me to choose the Ultra would be the roughly twice as long battery life, as well as the navigation features during training. And speaking of battery life, this isn't really impressive on the Ultra either, and yeah, it would only make sense to choose either of those watches in general if battery life is a secondary concern to you. And for these reasons, I believe the Galaxy Watch 7, currently priced between $300 and $400, offers a better price-performance ratio than the Galaxy Watch Ultra at about $650. But as I said, it ultimately depends on what's important to you. But now feel free to leave a comment down below what you think of either of those watches. Which one do you prefer and why? If you found this video helpful or interesting, you could really support me and my work here by giving this video a quick thumbs up. Also, if you don't want to miss any more reviews or comparison videos like this, you should definitely subscribe to this channel. But for now, thanks a lot for watching and see you next time.